Welcome back, and for today's video I'm going to be doing what I spend in a week, and I wanted to give a little bit of context before we get into the video. I'll be really quick. The first is we are currently on vacation, so we spent the first half of this week in Utah, we spent the last half of this week in Colorado, so we are not at home, which makes our spending a lot different than if we were at home. The second part is I'm not including any of our home expenses. This week did fall on the first of the month, so our mortgage came out, a lot of our bills at home came out, but I'm just including the money that we have spent here in America. But if you would like to see a video of me doing a what I spend a week at home, and I can include all those bills, like our Netflix bill, our mortgage, our gas, things like that, I definitely can do that as well. I think that one would actually be really interesting to see what we spend in a week actually at home. And yeah, if you aren't already subscribed, you should definitely go do that. About 50% of the people that view my videos are not subscribed. So if you're one of those people, go subscribe. And yeah, let's go see what I spent from Sunday through to Saturday. So we're starting off strong on Sunday. Don't get your hopes up that the next few days after this are going to be good, because they're not. But on Sunday, we typically don't spend any money because we just go to church, and we just don't spend money on a Sunday. So we spent a whopping $0, and that will help bring our average down in the next few days, because let me tell you, they were not as low as that. So moving on to Monday, we were in Utah and we were meeting up with Trent's brother and his kids to go to a museum with the kids. Of course, this one day our kids slept in, so we didn't have time to make breakfast. So instead we stopped at Chick-fil-A to get breakfast on the way there so that we were not late. And the total for that was $18.85. And that is just the beginning of a long day of spending. So then we got to the museum that we were meeting Trent's brother at. It's honestly kind of pricey, but luckily our two kids were free. So the total for that was $48. So it was $24 for me, $24 for Trent. I don't know about you, but I just hate when kids' places charge so much for adults, because it's like the adults have to go because your kids are going to go. But it was worth the money because it was really fun, it was really good. It's called the Museum of Natural Curiosity if you're ever in Utah, and it's so good for that toddler age, even probably older. Annie's maybe just slightly too young, but she really enjoyed it as well. And then after we got done with there, it was lunchtime, so of course we had to go get lunch. So we went with Trent's parents and we went to Zupa's, which I think is a Utah thing. It's basically soup, salad, sandwiches. It's one of my favorite places to go to when we are in Utah. So it's also not the cheapest for what it is. So for 2 adult meals and a kids meal, the total came to $33.96. And oh, don't worry, there's still more than that to go. Then next we headed to Trader Joe's. I wanted to get some stuff to take home. I did a Trader Joe's haul in part 2, I think, of my Utah vlog. I think it's up 2 videos before this if you're curious what I got, but I got a lot of things to take home and then just some things to try while we were here. The total of that came to $53.37. And then after that, we decided to head to the BYU store. If you didn't know, I graduated from BYU, but I actually haven't been back since I graduated in 2018. So we thought we would take the kids there, and I wanted to look for some BYU memorabilia. I wanted a hoodie or something. I feel like when you're in Utah, it's not cool to wear BYU unless you're a diehard fan, which I'm not. But now that we're in Northern Ireland, I feel like it's more cool to wear BYU, at least for me. So we went to the BYU store. I grabbed a black BYU hat, a BYU sweater, and Trent also grabbed a BYU hat. And the total for that was $119.04. Rest in peace. But in fairness, I've worn the hat literally nearly every day since, so that was money well spent. And it's been too hot here to wear the hoodie, but I'll wear that once we get home. And then after that, we decided to go to Twisted Sugar, which is basically like a soda shop. If you watched any of my Utah vlogs, you'll know we went and got soda literally every single day we were in Utah, because it's just so much better there than it is in Colorado. They don't have soda shops. So I believe we got 2 sodas and one of their ice cream shakes, and the total for that was $12.50. Don't worry, we're nearly done with Monday, just one more spend, and that was Trent's phone bill. I don't have service out here, but he does. He pays for data, I guess, so that when he's out and about doing his aerations and work, he can have service. And we may or may not have used all of his data on our drive out. So he had to buy more data, and the total of that costed him $20. And so the total for Monday, the total spend was $305.72. Whew. And the sad part is, it's only about to get worse. So moving on to Tuesday, which was another big spend day. It was our last full day in Utah, so we knew it was going to be kind of pricey. We started the day off by going to Walmart. My family usually always gives me a list of things to bring home, and I figured it would probably be cheaper to do it while we were in Utah because groceries are typically cheaper. I also have a haul up in that Utah vlog of what we got. It was a lot of just like canned chilies, butter popcorn, Jolly Ranchers, Sour Patch. Actually, I don't think they were Jolly Ranchers. I don't know why I said that. Sour Patch, Mike and Ike's, things like that. And then I did buy an outfit for Annie as well, and maybe some things for us to take. I can't even remember at this point. But the total of that came to $138.28. Yay for me. And then after that long shopping trip, then we decided to go get lunch at Cubby's, which is another one of our favourite places. I went to it with my co-workers like on the Friday before, and it wasn't that good, but this one hit the spot. We got 3 meals between us. So we got a salad, a buffalo chicken salad. We got buffalo blue cheese fries, which are our all-time favourite. I don't even like blue cheese, but these are just chef's kiss. And then we got a tri-tip steak sandwich, and the total of that came to $37.30. I have really noticed since this trip to Utah how much more expensive food has got since when we initially lived here like 2 years ago. It's honestly crazy. And then we had to go fill up the car because we were going to do a road trip the next day, so we wanted the car as full as physically possible. So we went to just a gas station and picked up petrol. It cost us $75.28, which is actually not that bad. The car was pretty much empty, and at home to fill up my car would probably cost about £80 at least, and this car is quite a bit bigger than ours. So that was like a necessary spend. Everything else has kind of been unnecessary, but that was necessary. Then after that, I decided to go get my eyebrows done. My eyebrows were looking horrible. I actually don't think I've had them waxed since we lived in Utah, which is what, like 19-20 months ago. I've just been like doing them myself, but it felt so nice to have someone do like, you know, all the white hairs that you can't normally get. So the total of that cost $12, and that was including tip, because in America you have to tip for literally everything. I kind of hate it, but it is what it is. And then we were planning on going to Trent's brother's house, but we were waiting for his kids to get home from school, so we kind of just needed something to do, and it was just so hot outside. We decided to go to JCW's and get a shake, and we decided to just get one. Trent wanted to get a few, but I was like, no, let's just get one. Let's just try not to spend too much money here. But it still cost $7.57 for one shake. Now, we did all share it, but still, it wasn't like a huge shake. But JCW shakes are very, 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 very good. And then it ended up that my brother-in-law's son got croup, and we just didn't want to go over and get the kids sick because Smith is really susceptible to croup. So instead we went out for dinner, because we were going to go to their house for dinner, but we went out for dinner to Happy Sumo, which is a sushi place. I don't love sushi, but Trent and Smith do, and I feel like there's not that many good sushi restaurants, if any, in Derry. So we had to get our fix before we left. And if you know, sushi is not cheap. So the total of that came to $60. That was including tip and everything. And then on the way home, Trent had to get a soda, and the total of that came to $3.63. So if I'm doing the math right, the total for Tuesday was $334.06. Literally what we spent in the last 2 days is what my mortgage cost me for a month. Let that sink in for a second. Okay, it does start to get better from here, I promise. That was the worst 2 days. So on Wednesday, we were doing a road trip back to Utah. So since it was our last morning in Utah, we had to stop and get our last soda before we left. We got 2 sodas, a water cup, and then we got Smith like a little kid's soda. And the total for that came to $10.93. But it was worth every penny. It was so, so, so good. Then we drove all the way through to Grand Junction, which I think was like 3 or 4 hour drive, and stopped to get lunch for us and the kids. We went to Cafe Rio. The total for that was $25.04. But after lunch we needed to get petrol that would hopefully then last us all the way till Denver. So we stopped to get gas and the total was $59.01. It was actually a lot cheaper there than it was in Utah, which was nice. I think it was like 30 or 40 cents a gallon cheaper, if not more. And then we also realised we didn't have any swim nappies for Annie for an expense you'll see later on. We were going to a hot spring, so I ran into that local shop that was right there and spent $10.83 getting some swim nappies. Kind of annoying, but they'll last us. We'll take them home with us. It is what it is. So then we got back in the car, headed on to Glenwood Springs, which I feel like is a very popular place, and went to like this famous hot springs. It was actually really cool, but I feel like you can't fully enjoy it with the kids. And we didn't want to stop for ages because we did want to get home before the kids' bedtime. So we were there for about an hour and a half, 2 hours total. Like that's including getting changed and all that jazz. And the total for that was $58 for the hot spring itself. And then we paid an additional $8 for towels because we didn't have any towels. That was for 2 towels we just shared. So the total at the hot springs came to $66, which is kind of expensive for what it was. And that was off-peak time. And we didn't pay for either of the kids. So if we had come like 3 or 4 weeks later, the price would have been literally double. It's definitely worth it if you could spend the whole day there, but because of like what we were doing, we could only spend literally 2 hours. And then we just headed straight on to Denver, got back to Transparent's house, and they had made us dinner, so luckily we didn't have to spend a single more penny that day. The total spend for Wednesday was $171.81. So a bit of an improvement for Monday and Tuesday, but not as low as Budget Jessica would like. Thursday we were in Colorado. We were here at Transparent's. Trent was back at work and I just spent the whole day at the house with the kids and Trent's mother. So I spent a whopping $0. Yay! Finally, that's the kind of spending I like. And then we move on to Friday. Trent also was working all day Friday. I was here at the house with the kids all day, but at one point we decided to head to Sam's Club with my mother-in-law. She had some stuff to get, so I just tagged along and I grabbed a set of muffins because I love Sam's Club muffins. We used to have a Sam's Club beside us when we lived in Utah and I used to love their muffins so much. And it's like a set of, it was 3 blueberry muffins, 3 banana muffins, 3 chocolate muffins. And then I also got a tub of mixed unsalted nuts to take home for my parents. It's like one of those things that they love and I just thought, they didn't ask for it, but I saw it and I thought I'd just get it. So the total of that came to $20. And then the only other thing I did that day that I purchased was I made an online purchase. My friend Orla owns a shop called Thingamabobs by Orla and I ordered Smith this personalised hoodie that she was doing. They were a £5 deal with the posting and packaging. The cost in dollars worked out to be about $11.16. I obviously paid for it in pounds and it's getting delivered to my home, but because the rest of this video is in dollars, I just thought I'd convert that into dollars as well. And so that takes the total spend for Friday to just $31.16. My mother-in-law cooked for us, so we didn't have to eat out. We just had no expenses that day. And then last but not least, ending the week off with a bang, I spent absolutely nothing, $0.00. So some days were definitely better than others. We spent a lot more in Utah than we do in Colorado. We don't really spend all that much here, if anything, because my mother-in-law pays for honestly quite a lot of it. But in Utah, because we were eating out for like breakfast and lunch and a lot of times dinner, it just really added up really fast. But Utah was technically like our vacation, and because we have an American bank account, I just feel like when we're in America it just feels like I'm spending Monopoly money because it's not coming out of like my British account, which is where like our mortgage and everything comes out of, money in it. So it doesn't like hurt me too much that we spent all that money because it didn't come out of like my actual account, if that makes sense. But it was a lot more than I would have liked. Definitely when I'm at home I do not spend near that amount. Well, I probably do if you start to include all my daily bills. You started to average those out, and I'll stop rambling and I will give you the official total for the week was $842.75. I will put the conversion of whatever that is in pounds as well, but I would say that's around £700, which is like £100 a day, which is decently expensive. Like my mortgage isn't even £700, so that's literally like a month's extra mortgage payment that I just spent in a week on who knows frigging what. But yeah, hopefully you enjoyed a little insight into what I spent on a week on vacation. And like I said at the start, if you're interested in seeing a more traditional one of me at home, including all of my bills, I would be more than happy to do that once we get home. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you haven't already, please go subscribe. And if you've made it this far, thank you for watching to the end. I really appreciate you. And I will see you next time. Bye.